Всем привет! С вами Digital Duo. Мы тут Dragon Age живем. И у нас предыстория знатного человека. Это воин по имени Лира, дочь Тейна Кусланда. И мы на паузе сейчас. Все очень мелко для меня. Видимо, экран слишком широкий, слишком большой, но, надеюсь, будет вам видно. Вот, собственно, само окошко персонажа. Здесь у нас выносливость и ХП. Наборы оружия можно будет назначать и переключать их между собой. У нас есть бонус за комплект одежды. Вот наши навыки здесь будут внизу. Здесь разные менюшки, записи о персонажах. Пока что только Лира есть. Дальше будет целая пати. Вот наши статы. Есть даже какие-то героические достижения. Здесь наши умения, навыки, инвентарь. Что у нас есть? 3 припарки, шлем. Тут все подряд. Можно, конечно, отсортировать, как хотите. Но вот все, что есть. Дневник с нашими заданиями, поручения отца. И здесь еще есть криминальный комплект какой-то. Сулкеров перевал. Карта с нашим замком. Вот мы. Главный зал. Тут помечены крестиками помещения. Ну, отряда у нас сейчас нет, мы его сменить не можем. Тактический режим. Какие могут быть установки у персонажей. Каждый может нести свою какую-то роль, да, какое может быть поведение у персонажа, пока нам это не очень нужно. И, собственно, сама менюшка. Во время паузы можно раздавать указания. Приказ о передвижении. Чтобы снять игру с паузы, нажмите пробел. Тексты кодекса какие-то полетели. Сейчас. Кстати, управлять можно персонажем с помощью вас, да? А можно с помощью мышки. Давайте всех ёбывать.
Good evening, my lady. Good evening, my lady.
Круто быть миледи. Это мамочка наша, мамочка прекрасненькая. Это батя. Давай до холда ебемся.
Yes? We fought together under King Maric when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden. Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again.
Что-то ты недовольный какой-то.
Your father hasn't spoken of our time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall. It's too bad Kalen isn't half that. I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hal. You speak of our king.
The girl did ask, your lordship. As per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion. The topic has come up from time to time. The young and their infatuations. I'm sure that was years ago. People change. To be honest, I have no expectations. And your father seems determined to let you find your own way. If something did happen, well, we'd address it as befits a family of our stature. Your father's permissiveness has made you willful, indeed. It may not always serve you so well. Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about. In a manner of speaking, if I had reinforced our border levies earlier, my troops could have left before the rains. I confess, my confidence in your father allowed me some complacency. I guess that makes it as much his fault.
Дестюте.
Another time, then.
Мистер недовольное ебало. Брайс Кусланд, наш папа.
Shouldn't you be off to your brother, as I asked? Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt. Saying goodbye to Oriana and your nephew. When the king demands it. In fact, not sending our forces south would be a distinctly bad idea. Don't worry, pup. You shouldn't see many problems, but I want you to prepare the men left here, in case. Legends of the Blights tell of horrible things. These darkspawn once threatened many lands. If we can't hold them, you must prepare for the worst. I know you will. You are a Kuzland, after all. But let's not speak of ominous things. We shall assume that all will go well, and the Maker will watch over us. Your brother and I go into battle, not an afternoon tea. Who knows what will happen to us? I will tell you, however, you're my darling daughter. I love you, and I trust you completely to carry on the Kuzland name if the worst should happen. But don't worry about me, dear girl. You'll have enough to occupy your mind while I'm gone.
О, это так мило. Я тоже люблю тебя, папочка.
I'll talk to you soon. Just let me finish my meeting with Duncan.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone. Your father has left you in charge of the castle? Then I will see you at dinner tomorrow, if not sooner. As do I. Until then.
Good evening, milady. Good evening, milady. Good
Да,
evening,
все,
milady.
все, ясненько, ясненько. Гуд. Отвыкла от управления. Здесь оно не похоже на Балдурсгейтовское.
Greetings, my lady. You are the Terran's daughter, are you not? I am a member of Arl Howell's personal guard. The rest of the Arl's forces are expected tonight. I understand you shall take charge of your father's castle once we march. Ah, then I wish you luck. Good evening, my lady. Good evening, my lady.
Good evening, milady. Good evening.
Да, ясно, спасибо. Зачем два раза-то, господи. Прям максимальное уважение мне.
Good evening, milady.
Я тут пойду докоебываться до всех. О, слышите? Туда нельзя, значит, пойти.
Good evening,
Здорово,
milady.
здорово. Опа! Что-нибудь залутат? можно у вас тут? О! Эх, не могу. Жаль. Слуга, привет.
A whole Darkspawn army in the south? Surely that's not true.
We'll be up very late tonight, so the Arl's men can be given proper quarters.
Эльфы, кстати. Да? Да. Эльфы, ребят, сорян. Не обижайтесь, как бы. Просто мы очень богатые и охуевшие. Бля, хоть где-то я богатая. О! Кул.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt. Pardon my abruptness, my lady. It's simply that I've been looking everywhere for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave. No matter how the maids try to keep him out, he always finds a way in. You know these Mabari hounds. He'll listen to his mistress, but anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
Красавчик, на самом деле. Хорошенький.
That would be wise, before Nan tears down the walls. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we? Your mother was quite specific. Unless the castle is under attack, you get that dog before doing anything else. Her words, not mine. Before we go, my lady, might I beg a question? I've heard from several people that a Grey Warden is here. Is that true?
Я уже говорила!
Then, is it also true that this Grey Warden was asking after me? Maker's breath, are you certain? Can you imagine me, a Grey Warden? It would be everything I've dreamed of. Of course, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Pardon my outburst.
Такой воспитанный. Вот, у нас появился теперь Гилмор. Давайте посмотрим. Человек, тоже воин. Переполох в кладовой у нас, увести пса из кладовой, пообщаться с брателликом. Не знаю, дорогой красавчик сэр Гилмор, где тут кладовая, не помню. Ни хера. Это было лет до хера назад, когда я играла в игру. Ну, будем заново постигать Олдос.
Hello, my dear girl. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Kuslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect. If the mind is not exercised, it withers just as the body does. Perhaps you'd care to join me in teaching the lesson? Wonderful. Oh, the Kusland history is long indeed. Where shall we start? Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young lady. If I were truly a skilled tutor, I suspect I would not encounter such insouciance amongst my pupils. You can look that up later. At any rate, your family has held the tournure of High Ever since before King Callan had united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elathea Kustland battled Callanhad to maintain High Ever's independence. Callanhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elathea's men were defeated, Callanhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event. The Kustlands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Callanhad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Callanhad's army reached High Ever, Tierna Elathea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Callanhad won. Records are vague, but the Kustlands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child? Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tests me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Kustland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern. The history between the Kustlands and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation. During your grandfather's rule, of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near High Ever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the tourneur's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over. Your grandfather couldn't afford to lose Harper's Ford. In keeping the town, your family drove Orlais from its lands. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Callan, to fight the Darkspawn. Thank you for indulging an old man.
Does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself.
Почитаем потом кодекс. Читать мы любим.
This is boring. Why do we have to read books anyway? I want to learn how to use a sword. This is boring. Why do we have to read books anyway?
Good evening.
I want to learn how to use a sword.
Его нажали на книжку, получили историю Ферелдена. Или Ферелдена.
We really should go after your hound, my lady, before he does something worse. I would were it my choice. Your father decided I should remain with the complement guarding the castle. I hope that's because this Grey Warden wishes to see me. Only what everyone hears. I never expected to actually see one. So few of them are here in Ferelden. I hear they only recruit the most skilled. It'd be disappointing if that wasn't true. Never. You hear about Darkspawn attacking homesteads and travelers, but I thought they were just stories. I only know that once you become a Grey Warden, your old life is over. There's no going back. As you wish. But what if the Grey Warden tries to recruit you? Have you thought about it? I suppose you have many other options. Me, I would give anything to be recruited. Well, you know I've served your father for years, since my own father sent me to squire here. My father is a minor lord in the Bannorn, but our land is little more than a glorified farmstead. I do miss it though. The valleys of the Bannorn are beautiful this time of year. I take great pride in serving the town. Still, if I had the opportunity to join the Grey Wardens, I wouldn't hesitate. With his blessing, I imagine. Joining the Wardens is the highest service one can render. Of course, my lady. Lead on.
Good evening, milady.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my daughter, along with Sir Gilmore. Tell me, Sir Gilmore, has my pup collared that dog yet?
Not just yet, your ladyship.
Darling, do take care of that. That malodorous hound of yours is an excellent protector, but he drives Nan to distraction. I'm not asking you to travel to the moon. The kitchen is just around the corner. Sir Gilmore, see that it gets done.
As your ladyship commands.
Good. With any luck, I'll be able to feed my guests before the end of next week. Darling, you remember Lady Landra?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Вы тогда еще напились?
You're too kind, dear girl. Didn't I spend half the salon trying to convince you to marry my son?
And made a very poor case for it, I might add.
You remember my son, Dyron. He's not married yet either.
Don't listen to her. It's good to see you again, milady. You're looking as beautiful as ever.
Нет, он не очень привлекательный. Спасибо.
And this is my lady in waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great pleasure, my lady. You are as pretty as your mother describes.
And she says that after seeing you whacking stuffed men in the courtyard, sweating like a mule.
Your daughter's prowess with the blade is most impressive.
I was quite the battle maiden myself in my day. But I think it was the softer arts that helped me land a husband. Aware that my husband and son are about to ride off to battle and perhaps never return? Quite.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Пиздуйте, пиздуйте.
Good evening, your ladyship. Sir Gilmore.
Здесь, конечно, у них, знаете ли, костюмы вычурные, пипец, и мейкап просто жесткий. Может быть, потом накачу пару модов, которые это слегка поправляют и делают всех, ну, более-менее симпатичными. Но сейчас вы видите ванильную, скажем так, версию игры, где ничего не поправленное, вот так вот оно было задумано разрабами.
I dare say I can hear Nan shouting from here. Perhaps if you hurry, you can keep her from having a fit.
Кто-то кричит. Наверное, где-то здесь пиздец. Но это не точно. Что это? Это очень смешно. Блядь, где кухня? Где?
Good evening.
Здорово. Вот это? О. Здорово.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves. I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you. Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down. Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Нас учат пользоваться инвентарем.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here? It does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that?
Имя собаки. Сэр. А, нельзя пробел, да, сделать? Ладно. Кранчи пусть будет. Ох, крысы! Блядь, классика, классика любой ПГшки. Крысы. Что тут у нас есть? Значит, удар щитом. Я буду ударять щитом. Ты будешь расчетливо ударять. А ты можешь просто ням-ням сделать? А собака что, ничего не делает? Собака! Кушай! Собака, почему ты не кушаешь их? Кушай. О! О! Еще давайте.
Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all. Those were rats from the Kakari wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
Нихера тут крыс, конечно. Не говори об этом, Нэн. Типа она зайдет и не увидит кучу крыс. Мы пойдем и скажем ей.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones?
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead. Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with.
Мы такие в кровище.
Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then. Take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lady. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about. Thank you again for your help. Now, if you'll just hold on a moment. Yes? Adney, get moving with those casts. And Kath, do you think you can serve that to the turn with dirt from the floor all over it?
Miserable old bat.
Old bat, am I? We've got to work double time on supper, sweep out the hearths, and no complaining. Just keeping order. That's why your father keeps me on. The good maker knows I needn't take care of you anymore. Thank you for coming to your old nanny's rescue. That blasted hound is more trouble than he's worth. He is. And don't start with me. You've gotten all you're getting today. But what about you, my lady? Been keeping safe and well behaved, I hope? To be truly good is doing right by others even when it doesn't suit you. Do you remember that bedtime tale I used to tell you? The dog that bit? Good. Then you can start. You'd think I hadn't told you this tale 1,000 times. Before our fathers' fathers came down from the mountains, a warhound was born to the elder bitch of a tribal chief. They named him Hahaku and gave him everything. He grew up a fine, strong pup, destined to be the partner of the chief's eldest son. The young hound became arrogant, taking food from his kin and warning them, in the way of dogs, that the chief's family would punish them if they tried to attack him. Years passed, and the time for the chief's son to take a warhound came closer. Hahaku's pride swelled, and many of the people of the tribe came to the chief, quietly whispering of this dog's bullying. With each complaint, the chief saw only Hahaku's strength and pride, and sent his people away. But as his son grew, the chief watched more closely. The day might come when his boy's life would depend on this dog. If the humblest of his people would not trust Hahaku, how could he? There are many kinds of weakness. You'd do well to remember that. When the day came, Hahaku sat proudly waiting to be called, but the old chief chose Hahaku's brother as his son's hound. Hahaku was shamed, but felt no remorse. So great was his rage that he darted across the fire pit and bit the chief's hand. The chief and his son struck at Hahaku, cursing him. The hound ran into the village, seeking shelter in the tents and kennels. The other dogs snapped at him, and the tribe's people threw stones at him. Before the chief could reach him, the tribe had torn Hahaku apart. Now, what should you carry from this tale? Very true. Hahaku thought himself above the others and expected his position to protect him. But you're far too old now for an old woman to be reminding you to watch how you behave, hmm? It's a story worth repeating. That's all. Be off with you then. Tell your brother farewell before he rides off to war. I can't chatter anymore. I've a whole army to feed, and then some. And don't think you two will get away from me anytime soon. I heard that. I'd beat you black and blue if I didn't need your arms working. Blasted elves.
We will serve you while the Terran is away.
We will serve you well while the Terran is gone.
Где там братек? Блин, не туда иду.
So, you managed to solve Nan's dog issues? I'll take that as a yes. Good work, darling. Now you should say goodbye to Fergus before he leaves, don't you think? Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited. Nor I. And I do realize you didn't answer my question. There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother. For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority. Delightful. Then there's no argument. If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana. As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me, but it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty and we have ours. I love you, my darling girl. You know that, don't you? Go do what you must then. I will see you soon.
Я тебя люблю тебя, мамочка. Что-то закрыто, что-то открыто. Вон они стоят. Это, видимо, наша комната.
Is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren. And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little sister to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
He is as mortal as anyone, despite his refusal to believe.
Now, love, no need to be grim.
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Oren. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come? Oh? If I were a Grey Warden, little sister, I'd have my eye on you. Not that father would ever allow it. Word from the south is that the battles have gone well. There's no evidence that this is a true blight, just a large raid.
Could that be true?
I'll see for myself soon enough. Pray for me, love, and I'll be back within a month or two. If it's any consolation, I'm sure I'll freeze in the southern rain and be completely jealous of you up here, warm and safe.
I am positively thrilled that you will be so miserable, husband.
Then the Isle's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many darkspawn to behead, so little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
I keep telling you, no darkspawn will ever best me.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Oren. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, maker's breath. It's like living with a pair of small boys. Thankfully, I have a daughter.
I'll miss you, mother dear. You'll take care of her, sister, won't you?
Oh, good. How thrilling to know I'm so well taken care of.
Enough, enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
Mama says you're going to be watching over us while Papa is gone. Is that true, Auntie? What if the castle is attacked? Will there be dragons?
Dragons are terrible creatures, Oren. They eat people.
Yeah, I want to see one.
This is your influence, Fergus.
What? I didn't say anything.
Are you going to teach me to use a sword, Auntie? Then I can fight evil too. Take that, dire bunny! All darkspawn, fear my sword of truthiness.
Научишь ли ты меня драться мечом, наверное, он сказал анти, типа тетушка, а не папа. Перевод был странный.
I'm thinking no.
I never get to do anything.
Don't worry, son. You'll get to see a sword up close real soon, I promise.
If you should need any assistance in the coming days, I would be glad to offer it.
Getting sent to bed early, are we? Well, you know father when he makes up his mind. At any rate, I'll miss you. Take care of everyone, and be here when I get back.
Best do as your father says, darling. I will see you in the morning, bright and early.
You should be on your way, pup. Long day ahead tomorrow. Ah, I was wondering how long this would take. Has he asked to recruit you? If a blight is truly upon us in the south, then Grey Wardens will be needed. There is no higher calling. If it comes to that, we can talk about it when I get back. Until then, just show him every courtesy. Duncan is a fine man, and a hero. I know that you'll do me proud. You've grown into a sensible woman. That much is clear.
Спасибо, папа. Что там за херня происходит?
My lady, help me! The castle is under attack!
Пиздос. Пиздос. Ух, ебать. Одеваемся по бырку. Сейчас. Что лучше? Броня 11.5. О, эти лучше. Какой-то трэш. На нас напали. Кто? Слугу убили. Солдаты Хоу. Этот старый мудак нас предал. Пидор. Ну все, ему пизда. Ему пизда. Да-да-да, ты вот этого хуярь. Ух. Где ты? Пошли вы нахуй! На, сука! Блядина! Хуяри вы что?
Darling, I heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt? They never got through the door, thanks to you. Her scream woke me up. There were men in the hall, so I barred the door. Did you see their shields? Those are Hal's men. Why would they attack us? You don't think Hal's men were delayed? On purpose? That bastard. I'll cut his lying throat myself. Have you seen your father? He never came to bed. We must find him. We must fight our way to him. Your father needs us both. I am no Orlesian wallflower. Give me a sword and I'll use it. Now let's go.
Так, можем прокачаться. У нас повышен уровень, нам дали 3 очка характеристики. Можем их распределить как-то. Ну, давайте телосложение накинем. Магии чуть-чуть. И силы. Специализацию нам нельзя выбрать пока. Улучшенные варианты — это обычных классов. И мы можем выбрать одно умение. Одно умение. Давайте вот блок. А пес у нас боевой. У него нет специализаций. Можем накинуть ему тоже всякое. Давайте ловкость, силу воли и телосложение. Хуилы, да? Ой-ой!
No! My little Oren! What manner of fiend slaughters innocents? How is not even taking hostages? He means to kill all of us. Oh, poor fuckers. Let's go, I don't want to see this.
Убили ребенка, убили мать ребенка. И это отвратительно. Жесткая фэнтези, жесткая. Я говорила, Dragon Age это жестко. Солдаты здесь превращаются в какую-то хуйту. Ну, чтобы, видимо, проще было как-то все это прогружать.
Perhaps we can salvage some things here, darling. Some of your father's belongings are in that trunk. If that is what you wish.
Мы не можем взломать сундук. Что есть у нас тут? Не, я не хочу уничтожать. А как я могу передать этот предмет? А, у нас это как типа инвентарь отряда. Угу. Все хорошо. Ой, сучки.
Say, it will be done.
Oh dear Landra, I'm so sorry. If she hadn't come to me, if she hadn't been here.
It will be done.
Can you hear the fighting? Hal's men must be everywhere. My only grandchild is a ravaged corpse. What do I care about danger? The front gates. That's where your father must be. Listen, darling. We haven't much time. If we can't find your father, you must get out of here alive. Without you and Fergus, the entire Kousan line dies here. If Hal's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants' entry in the larder to escape. Do you hear me? Then survive, and visit vengeance upon him.
Жесть.
Very well.
The castle has fallen! I'm getting out of here! Ah! Here they come! They're right behind me!
What is it?
Come on!
Take that! To battle! He's waiting for our home! This is our home!
Bring it on!
Трэш. Трэш и жесть.
I am here! Get out of my way! How dare you! Die, fiend!
Опять. Пидораски. Что-то все как-то не по плану пошло. Мне громковато. Не знаю, как вам. Пидоры, блядь, а? Знаете, зла не хватает. Я реально так злюсь вот в этой предыстории. Я прям супер злая. Типа, Что это за пиздец вообще? Предательство. Предательство. Самое настоящее уебанское. Фу. И сразу начинаешь понимать, почему этот Эрл Хоу так общался вообще, так разговаривал с героиней, почему он так удивился, что пришел Серый страж. Блядь, деда убили.
Yes.
Не знаю, зачем нам чистая бумага, но продадим, может быть. И тут еще, понимаете, всех убивают. Мы как бы и не успеваем к ним привыкнуть по-хорошему-то, да? Но в то же время ты вообще охереваешь от того, что у тебя не будет такой возможности.
Very well.
We're getting close to the treasury. The Kuzland family blade lies inside. Here, darling, take my key. That blade cannot fall into Hao's hands. It should sever his treacherous head.
Of course.
Фамильный меч, действительно. Получше.
Yes.
How about you?
Take that. Come. Together we shall leave this place.
Хорошо, что мы сюда зарулили. Так, доспехи у нас одинаковые, ладно.
As you say.
We will not be defeated!
Игра зависла. Мы зашли немножко с другого ракурса в эту локацию. Вот у нас два стражника и красавчик Сэр Гилмор. Они тут дерутся с уёбками со всякими. Если я все, конечно, правильно понимаю, а я могу понимать неправильно.
I am here.
Я чувствую, мы тут нюхнем говна и несчастья. Игра будет вылетать, зависать, всякое такое.
Come and face me if you dare.
Спрятался, блядь.
Go, man the gate. Keep those bastards out as long as you can. Your ladyship, my lady, you're both alive. I was certain Howe's men had gotten through. When I realized what was happening, it was all I could do to shut the gates. But they won't keep Howe's men out long. If you've another way out of the castle, use it quickly. I've no idea. You don't think he's involved in this, do you?
Perhaps he was sent to kill Bryce? Oh dear. Have you seen him?
When I last saw the Turn, he'd been badly wounded. I urged him not to go, but he was determined to find you. He went towards the kitchen. I believe he thought to find you at the servants' exit in the larder.
Bless you, Sir Gilmore. Make her watch over you.
Make her watch over us all.
Did you not hear, Sir Gilmore? We must go while we can.
It will be done.
What is it?
Ой, меня там сейчас ёбнут, как скотину.
as you say.
There, you both are. I was
Bryce!
wondering when you would get here.
Maker's blood, what's happening? You're bleeding!
Hal's men found me first. Almost did me in right there. He can't get away with this. The king will...
Bryce, we must get you out of here.
I won't survive the standing, I think. Only if you're willing to leave pieces of me behind, pup.
Bryce, this is no time for jokes! Once Hal's men break through the gate, they will find us. We must go!
Someone must reach Burgess. Tell him what has happened.
Bryce, no. The servant's passage is right here. We can flee together, find you healing magic.
The castle is surrounded. I cannot make it.
I'm afraid the turn is correct. Hal's men have not yet discovered this exit, but they surround the castle. Getting past will be difficult.
You are Duncan, then? The Grey Warden?
Yes, your ladyship. The turn and I tried to reach you sooner.
My daughter helped me get here. Make her be praised.
I am not surprised. I fear your thanks are premature. I doubt I have saved him.
Whatever is to be done now, it must be quick. They are coming.
Duncan, I beg you. Take my wife and daughter to safety.
I will, your lordship. But I fear I must ask for something in return.
Anything.
What is happening here pales in comparison to the evil now loose in this world. I came to your castle seeking a recruit. The Darkspawn threat demands that I leave with one.
I understand.
Truthfully, you were always my first choice. I
Awesome,
will take
right?
the Tyrna and your daughter to Ostagar to tell Fergus and the king what happened. Then your daughter joins the Grey Wardens.
So long as justice comes to Hal. I agree.
Then I offer you a place within the Grey Wardens. Fight with us. We will inform the king, and he will punish Hal. I'm sorry, but a Grey Warden's duties take precedence even over vengeance.
Hal thinks he'll use the chaos to advance himself. Make him wrong, pup. See that justice is done. Our family always does our duty first. The Darkspawn must be defeated. You must go. For your own sake and for Ferelden's.
We must leave quickly then.
Bryce, are you sure?
Our daughter will not die of Hal's treachery. She will live and make her mark on the world.
Darling, go with Duncan. You have a better chance to escape without me.
Eleanor.
Hush, Bryce. I'll kill every bastard that comes through that door to buy them time. But I won't abandon you. Then live, darling. Become a Grey Warden and do what is right.
I'm so sorry.
Кровь вот это каждый раз.
We had a good life.
Расползающийся.
It's up to our children now.
Then go, pup. Warn your brother. Know that we love you both. You do us proud.
They've broken through the gates. We must go now.
Goodbye, darling.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Kakari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kaelan. I didn't expect a
royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is she?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
No need, Duncan. You are Bryce's youngest, are you not? I don't think we've ever actually met. Your brother has already arrived with High Ever's men, but we are still awaiting your father. Dead? What do you mean? Duncan, do you know anything about this?
Terran Kuzland and his wife are dead, Your Majesty. Arl Howe has shown himself a traitor and overtaken High Ever Castle. Had we not escaped, he would have killed us and told you any story he wished.
I can scarcely believe it. Well, how could he think he could get away with such treachery? As soon as we are done here, I will turn my army north and bring Howe to justice. You have my word. No doubt you wish to see your brother. Unfortunately, he and his men are scouting in the wilds. Not until the battle is over, I fear. Until then, we cannot even send word. I apologize, but there's nothing more I can do. All I can suggest is that you vent your grief against the Darkspawn for the time being. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different. I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here. True. Despite the victory so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling. Yet not enough to wait for reinforcements from the Grey Wardens of Orlais. He believes our legend alone makes him invulnerable. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Terran Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay. Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Your hound can stay with me while I attend to some business. The Grey Warden tent is on the other side of this bridge. You will find us there should you need to.
Итак, мы в Остагаре. Собаку забрали. Данкан ушел. Давайте качнемся. Такая вот история произошла с Лирой. Она в шоке немножко, мне кажется, стоит и вообще не вдупляет, что происходит. Спасибо, ребят, что были со мной. Было, конечно, сложно. Игра зависала, игра вылетала. Но надеюсь, что в дальнейшем мы как-то с ней подружимся все-таки. И все будет хорошо. Подписывайтесь на канал. Лайкосики ставьте, комментарии пишите. Может, вы хотели поиграть в Dragon Age или хотите. Или играли уже. Может быть, сейчас в процессе. Поделитесь своим опытом игровым. И до скорых встреч. Пока!